Hello and welcome to Business Standard Views of the Week. How has India's economy fared in the 30 years since the start of radical reforms? Have experts correctly diagnosed what ails India's taxation system? How might the COVID lab leak hypothesis impact China and the world at large? Subscribe to Business Standard and read this week's top opinion pieces to find out. We start off with an incisive piece on what India's economy has achieved in the past 30 years and what was possible to achieve. Next week will mark 3 decades since the P.V. Narasimha Rao government assumed office and set in motion radical reforms that changed the direction and speed of the Indian economy. In his latest column, T.N. Menon takes stock of what we have achieved as an economy and reveals the government's most important task on which the fate of the next 30 years hinges. Sticking with the theme of important tasks for policymakers, next we bring you a piece on glitches in the country's taxation system. There is a problem in the composition of the centre's gross tax revenue. This has caused consternation among tax experts. In his latest column, A.K. Bhattacharya reveals possible solutions to address this issue and warns against one popular suggestion that might prove to be wrong. Next up, we look at some bright spots and risks for the Indian economy. There have been some points of good news for the economy in recent days. Our Business Standard editorial comment answers whether the optimism is warranted or not. It also demystifies and explains what the best policy response would be to get on the path of durable economic recovery. Moving on to defense and geostrategy. A year after the Galwan clash in eastern Ladakh, Business Standard takes stock of what has changed for India and China since then and reveals who has the upper hand at present. Talking of China's impact, until the Chinese archives are opened, a decisive answer may not be obtained on whether COVID leaked from a Chinese lab or not. So, why does the lab leak hypothesis still matter? Also, how might 2020 prove for China what 1983 or 1986 were for the USSR? Ajay Shah seeks to answer these questions in his latest column. Next, we look at how good India's chances are of getting back a prominent economic offender. It was perhaps over-enthusiasm that prompted Indian agencies to take a private jet to Dominica to bring back fugitive diamond heir Mehul Choksi. Predictably, the team had to return empty-handed. In his latest column, Shamal Majumdar looks at other extradition cases involving India to explain how efforts to get back Choksi are likely to play out. We bring this episode of Business Standard Views of the Week to a close with an interesting piece on BJP's political future. The electoral defeat in Bengal and the worries about Uttar Pradesh have exposed a central weakness in the BJP's poll strategy. Revealing what that is, Veer Sanghvi's latest column fleshes out how the opposition can make it work to its advantage in the next general elections. Find the links to these columns and editorials in the video description below. For more insights and analysis in the world of business, finance and politics, subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.